Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good people. I not sure if y'all read the title of the live, but we will get started here in a minute because this is not like my typical I've been thinking live. This right here is it's more of a, what do you call it? It's a call to action type live. This is a call to action type live. If you read the description, and hopefully it posted because I'm not really sure. I don't really do descriptions that often. But if you read the description, you'll see it says, let's talk about it. And it gives the suicide helplines. Today, I was, coincidentally, these things just all kind of came together. But first, let me start off with the suicide helpline number. It's 1-800-273-TALK. Again, the suicide helpline number is 1-800-273-TALK. If you want to just text, you can text TALK to 741-741. If you don't want to talk and you just want to text TALK to 741-741. So today, my last 2.5 hours was spent on a webinar, on a statewide webinar discussing suicide, and we're talking about ways that families can help their family members or friends or whoever talk their way through those suicidal ideations and things like that. Coincidentally, whenever I finished that, my son came out of his room and he had this crazy look on his face, and he was saying how one of his schoolmates committed suicide this week. And one thing that came out of his mouth was that he's glad that he doesn't have to be one of the kids that goes back to school and sees that empty chair, because that would be kind of painful for him. And so my seeing your kids go through things like this. Now, mind you, I made a post earlier. This is the second time in a couple of years that that he has had this same experience with his schoolmates. One was a more closer classmate to him, very close friend that committed suicide a little while ago, probably not even 2 years ago. But seeing that pain in your child's eyes is one of the most excruciating things, because it's something that you can't take that pain away from them. You can't take those thoughts away from them. The only thing that you can do for your child whenever they experience these types of things with their schoolmates, their classmates, their friends, the only thing that you can do is be there for them. And anybody that knows my story knows that I've had a long journey in this area personally, and knowing that there's nothing that you can do for your child but to be there is, my heart is heavy right now. It is extremely heavy, because I think that right now, with everything that's going on, number one, some people are already predispositioned for suicide and suicidal ideation and mental health disorders. And then when you put them in situations like what we're all dealing with now, it illuminates those problems, it heightens those issues, and if people aren't willing to talk about this, then we're going to keep losing our children, our friends, our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our brothers to suicide. I know last week there was a young man who went through that. I don't know him personally, so I can't even speak about it, but I just saw a lot of things on my timeline. And so right now, I know for a fact that people are going through some things. And I continue to see things on my Facebook page. And whenever I see certain things from my family and my friends, I'll do a check-in. Like if somebody is always online and then all of a sudden they're gone, maybe they're just taking a break or whatever. But for me, because I know what I know, and I've been through what I've been through, and I've walked through a situation myself numerous occasions, I check on my people. Go see about your people. Go see how they're doing. If you see those changes in your people, check on them. Talk to them about it. Give them the number 1-800-273-TALK. If you want to text 741-741. My thing is right now we absolutely have to start being more aware and be less selfish and more giving. Because let me tell you, one of the best things that you can do for everybody around you during this time is observation. Observation is one of the absolute best things that you can do for your family and your friends at this time. I know people do not want, depression ain't real. Just get it together. Buck up. Do what you got to do. I reject that line of thinking because I know for a fact it is. I have to, sometimes I fight with things my own self. And so what I can tell you with absolute certainty, as strong as people think I am, I go through that same stuff. The difference between me and that person that carried out the act is that I had somebody there with me to say, you need to get it together. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That right there is one of the bigger things, is that we're not talking about this stuff. We're busy making fun of people we're busy making fun of people instead of helping them. Cyberbullying is real in teenagers. It's real with adults. Cyberbullying is at an all-time high, especially now because everybody's supposedly sheltering in place, which, that's a whole different topic for a whole nother day. But my thing is that today I was hit again with my kids going through that loss, that feeling of loss again. And it just so happened that it was right after I got off of a webinar. I closed my day out with this webinar about suicide and how can we, as the stewards of the state, help save lives. And so this right here is me doing my part to help save lives. Because when my son came in the living room where I was working and actually finishing up my webinar on suicide and told me that one of his schoolmates killed herself, I was just, it's devastating to continue to see this in our youth. Parents, if you are not talking to your kids, I suggest you do so. If they're locked in that room, if their patterns, if their behaviors are changing, if they're not interested in things that they're normally interested in, start looking. I have been focused on COVID-19 because that right there is another thing that's at an all-time high in my line of work, because I'm one of the people who have to make sure that things are in line for y'all. So I do a lot of talking. I don't give a lot of information that I know because I'm not allowed to, but I do a lot of talking, trying to encourage people to go ahead and pay attention. And now here I am again, because this is my call to action. I've been called to action, and so now I'm calling you guys out with me. Talk to your people. Suicide is at an all-time high. We have got to start talking. Mom is not the word. We need to start opening up our mouths and talking to our sisters, our brothers, our sons, our daughters, even our exes. Today I did something that I didn't think that I would be doing for quite a long time. And I reached out to my ex because one thing that I know about him. And so I had to reach out to him and let him know that he is loved. You are loved. You are appreciated. No, I don't like everything that you have done to me and our children, but we love you. So sometimes you have to come outside of that selfish nature that we all want to stay in, and let the people around us know that we are loved. Stop looking at yourself all the time and start paying attention, observing what's going on with your children. Like seriously, because my son, because I'm writing a book, I'm not going to share everything on this live, but I can tell you, you have never, ever had an experience until you are a parent who is trying to convince your child that their life is worth living. You have no idea what it's like to try to talk your child into understanding and knowing that their life is worth it. Until you have walked that walk, you will never know what it's like to be on my side of these arguments that I continue to make. So with that, I'm going to close this out. I'm not going to keep on talking. I'm not going to do all that. But this is a call to action, people. I really do hope that you guys start observing what's going on around you with your people. Check on your people. Some of them are not okay.